Yo, Sanjay Uchiha here, people. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel where today we'll be reviewing Dragon Ball Super episode 129, the long-awaited Goku versus Jiren, Ultra Instinct Omen versus Jiren. Of course, as per usual, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you thought about the episode, but let's get right into it. So, episode title, Limits Super Surpassed, Ultra Instinct Mastered. So I just watched the episode, and honestly, as per usual, I definitely liked the episode. Of course, it does center around the final battle, the final 2 minutes of the tournament, with Goku versus Jiren, as everybody knows by now. And honestly, I am going to get into the. Probably I shouldn't even get into the negatives right away, but. So, pacing-wise, I actually thought the episode was pretty good. With the first episode, the first half of the episode actually dedicated to, I guess stuff we already know. Interesting start to the fight between Ultra Instinct Omen Goku versus Jiren, and the second half dedicated to actually Goku slowly turning the tides. Now, what I definitely loved about this episode is that we didn't really get a lot of exposition from the characters in the crowd. Because one thing that has really annoyed me with this tournament is that we've had a lot of exposition, a lot of the characters on the sidelines talking and kind of taking away from the action. This episode actually does well in showing us a lot of action, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, if you've seen the episode, this is like a negative that's going to be. I'm pretty sure everybody that reviews Super has to bring this up. There is a lot of reused animation from previous episodes in not only in both halves of this episode, honestly. And even though the sequences themselves are pretty epic, and we actually finally got that one sequence from the opening itself with Goku versus Jiren towards the end of the opening, we got that towards the latter half of the episode with Ultra Instinct Omen Goku. But still, I wasn't expecting to see so much reused animation, because even in the first half of the episode, what we got was basically the same thing Goku pulled off against Kefla. Like, not only in terms of tactics, but like it was almost scene for scene from that episode, but they cut out Kefla and just put Jiren instead. I think that may have been like my biggest problem with this episode. Just the animation looks great, the sequences and the choreography is great, but it's reused. I gotta point it out. But anyway, reused animation aside, the choreography in this episode was pretty damn spot on, honestly. It's I don't know, I was watching it with a friend, and honestly, it was legit. But I think it really, like, it's pretty consistent throughout. I've got to give the episode that, honestly. There's not much to say in terms of like characterization for this episode, because I mean, we don't really get much dialogue from like Goku and Jiren themselves. I mean, Jiren has a few lines here and there, but there's not much to go off of for Goku and Jiren. What I will say though, I think in terms of characterization, Vegeta and Beerus kind of steal the show for this episode. With Vegeta continuing to showcase what he showcased essentially at the end of the fight against Kid Buu, with him essentially believing in Goku and, you know, trusting him to get the job done. I know some people may not like that, but I think Vegeta's character from the beginning of Z up till now, I think this is the accepted norm. I don't think it's bad. Vegeta believing in Goku, but at the same time keeping him as a rival, as a means to improve himself, I think it was done good. And Vegeta in this episode believing in Goku to not only surpass his limits, and it's even bigger than Goku itself, in the sense that he's looking at it from the performance of the Saiyans in this tournament and his race on a whole, is that they always break their limits. So I believe that was good characterization for Vegeta there. Animation aside, well, I've mentioned reuse animation already, but I'm not gonna lie, the art and animation in the second half really picked up after the I guess the commercial break or the midpoint of the episode. Like even the smoke, it's like if you just look at it, you can tell that the quality drastically improved in the second half of the episode, even though the first half didn't look bad at all. Yeah, but I wouldn't say that all of that was fluff. But let's get into the I guess the meat and potatoes of things. So Goku masters Ultra Instinct this episode, and I must say, the transformation itself was pretty epic in terms of visuals, honestly. And just seeing Beerus kinda, you can tell he's happy, but he's kinda like, I wouldn't say pissed off, like, yo, this guy, Goku is if you saw it, you would realize how Beerus felt. It kind of speaks for itself. And even Beerus himself, as I mentioned, characterization-wise, seeing him actually just believing in Goku, with him telling Krillin and the others just to like shut up and watch, like that was cool. But honestly, I mentioned it a few weeks ago in terms of the rest of Super, in terms of if it would make sense or not, and I was more towards it not making any sense. I know Goku mastering Ultra Instinct in a span of like 20 minutes has been a talk of debate in the community in terms of it's an ass pull or what. Honestly, I'll say this. I think more build-up could have been over the course of the entire series could have been done for this. It's as I mentioned in that same video, which I'll probably link at the end, the end screen annotations, is that the training session with Whis aside, back in like Resurrection F, there wasn't really any other point in the series that they alluded to this to actually build up to it to make it I guess an appropriate narrative payoff. That's really and truly my main problem with it. So it still in a sense comes off as an ass pull, really, but at this point we're down to the last 3 episodes of Super. Like it's essentially rushed at this point. So, and I also mentioned the writers have written themselves into a corner where this is concerned. But yeah, other tidbits I liked about it, I did love the Kamehameha after Goku fired it in the first half, visually speaking. But yeah, I think all in all, it was a pretty, it was okay to a good. Like I don't know, like because I kind of look at reviewing Super and like my final grade of an episode. I feel like I can grade it on various levels. Like if I'm just watching it like first time, casually speaking, I guess turn my brain off level, I found the episode to be like pretty damn good. But I think objectively speaking, it was like an okay plus to a good. The reused animation, as I said, that definitely takes away from the episode. Even though the choreography of these scenes were pretty damn good, but it's reused animation nonetheless. Definitely, it's kind of 50-50 to say the least with Goku mastering Ultra Instinct already. There was definitely that. But, I mean, on the plus side, I think there may have been more positives with the, as I said, the characterization of the characters. Beerus and Vegeta still in the show. The choreography of the fights, the art itself was pretty good. And even though it's reused animation, as I said, the animation itself is still pretty spot on. And just the composition of the episode, especially at the start of the second half, was definitely good. So it's definitely, I'd say, an okay plus to a good episode. Definitely loved it at the end of the day. I am looking forward to episode 130, which I believe doesn't air next week, but in 2 weeks. Yeah, so that sucks. And I believe then the final episode is the following week after. Definitely a legit episode. I'm looking forward to actually viewing what everybody else in the community thinks about this episode. Because I actually like clashing my initial opinion or review, the points of my initial review like this against everybody else to kind of, evolve my opinion on the entire episode. But all in all, let me know what you guys thought about the episode. I'm definitely looking forward to the finals with Goku versus Jiren. Yeah, but if there's anything else I missed, let me know. I could also do a follow-up video, I suppose. But yeah, Sanjo Uchiha, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.